welcome back to more Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Last time we left off, we started Chapter 3, and we're playing as Gregory Edgeworth, which is pretty cool. And now we're going to continue and find out who this Delicia is. Is that her name? I don't remember. Contest venue, Delicia's room. Yeah, okay. Alright, what's going on here? Wow, a candy castle! And there are even some fairies over there. This room seems to be structured in the same way as the Master's room, but it's nowhere near as cold. This room also seems to have been fitted with a temperature control panel. Ah, it's over by that orange lamp, right? Indeed. Let's not forget to investigate it later. Even so, this room is like something out of a fairy tale. Is this cream-covered castle Delicia's work? Where's Delicia? Oi, can I help you? Oh, hello, boys. I'm Delicia Scoons. In my native England. Crap, I don't know how to... British. I'm known as Miss Delicious. Being called a boy, even though I'm already 34. It's certainly a rare experience. Boys? I understand you calling me that, but Mr. Edgeworth? As far as I'm concerned, you're all boys to me. Even the detective over there. My name is Bad, not Boy. Just how old is this woman? Mr. Attorney, let's just finish our business here. Right. I off that voice. You, what do you think you're doing, conversing with a mere attorney? Oh, of course. Von Karma. I should have. Mr. Edgeworth, a scary man came out of that candy castle. Von Karma. This man is Prosecutor Von Karma? Yep, Manny. So he's Von Karma. Pleased to meet you, Prosecutor Von Karma. My name is Gregory Edgeworth, defense attorney. Bah! I have no interest in the names of defense attorneys. After all, they only exist to be crushed by me. What a rude man. That piercing gaze and furrowed brow. Oh, he's even scarier than the rumors say. Although, that statement was also very rude. Prosecutor Von Karma, would you allow us to investigate too? You think I would give information to a mere defense attorney? As I thought, it won't be that simple. However, I'll make a special exception for this room. Why did he change his mind so quickly? You, old bloodhound! Don't call me that. My name is Bad. Ha! A mere detective speaking back to me. I admire your courage at least. Bad. Stand watch and see to it that they don't misbehave. Why, me. I will not accept your refusal. Well then, I'll be investigating Gustavia's room next. I'm babysitting again. Wonder why he and Von Karma aren't investigating together. Instead of being on bad terms, it seems like they hardly know each other. Mr. Edgeworth, now that we've got Von Karma's permission, we can continue investigating. Yes, his manners bother me, but I am glad we can at least continue the investigation. Hold it. I also need to investigate this room. I don't want you disturbing the room, so you'll investigate after me. What? Aren't you the detective in charge of this case? Why haven't you investigated this room yet? The detective in charge of the initial investigation was a close colleague of Von Karma. I came to take over for him, so I only got to this mansion just recently. So that's why he and Von Karma aren't investigating together. Detective Bad, will you allow us to investigate with you like before? In doing so, you'll be able to supervise us and also ensure we don't tamper with anything. You want me to watch you? You're a strange lawyer. Huh. I'll let you stick around a little longer. Yay! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! Thank you, Detective Bad. But if I decide you're holding up the investigation, you'll have to leave. Yes, I understand. Well then, let's begin the investigation. Begin investigation. Let's take a look at this real fast. I can't believe this amazing castle is made entirely out of confectionery. I know! What a work of fantasy! It's like a fairy tale world. You like all this fairy tale stuff, don't you? Sorry. I got a bit too excited, didn't I? No. It's interesting to me since you're so enthusiastic about it, unlike my son. Your son? He's only in grade school, yet he prefers to read law books instead of fairy tales. I'm worried that he won't be able to make any friends that he can talk to. What an interesting kid. I'd like to be his friend. I think you'd be more of an older brother to him. Older brother, huh? Well, I've got some growing up to do then. Yes, and that's why we have to continue with the investigation. I won't rust and have suspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. The castle doors are open. When someone opened the door, they really should remember to close it afterwards. You say that directly to Prosecutor Von Karma, though. Huh? Looks like there's some stuff inside. Let's see. Wait, I'll examine it. Stay out of the way. This fresh cream melts too easily. Seems like Detective Bad's shoes got covered in cream. Why were these objects kept inside the county castle? If there's anything you want to investigate, you better speak up now. This pillar has a hexagonal recess. Looks like a pedestal, but it has nothing in it. A hexagonal recess, huh? Wonder what would have been put there. Do I have anything yet? A giant strawberry would fit with the fresh cream. Detective Bad, I don't think strawberries are hexagonal. I was just hoping. Then hope it's a banana. I think I prefer blueberries. Oh, I love this game. There are rows of blue cloth here. Looks like there's 4 of them in all. Certainly don't look like desserts. Yeah, I don't know what the cloth is for. It almost seems like he was hidden here inside the castle. Also, the color of this cloth looks familiar somehow. Huh? Miss Delicious, you don't seem as energetic as you were earlier. Delicia, can I just ask, did something happen with Von Karma? Yesy, nothing of the sort. But you just said yesy. The yesy just now was only a greeting. You're a cute boy. I like you. What's your first name? Huh? It's Raymond, but... Oh, Ray Ray. I think you'll make a good man of yourself someday. Ray Ray. How about that? I can give away with British ladies. It's a little different from my image of a lady. Why don't we listen to what she has to say? God, you look like something out of like... I don't know, I can't think of it. But like, those like cooking games. Like, you look like somebody from like Cooking Mama or something. Could you tell me about your actions during the contest? Yes, see, we began making desserts for the contest around 10 o'clock. I can't do a British accent. I'm sorry. That's one of the accents I just can't do for the life of me. Basically, I was in here making my desserts the whole time. At 1:30. At 1:30, I joined the afternoon tea for about an hour or so. Afternoon tea? It's a social occasion where conversation is had over black tea and cakes. So it's pretty much a tea party. Well, I suppose. Oh, Greggy, you're a smart boy, aren't you? When did I become Greggy? Where is the afternoon tea held? It took place in the gardens, outside of the fountain patio. Our customary break time during the contest. It's always held at the same time. Today there were just 3 of us who took part, Jeffy, Katie, and me. Since Jeffy had already finished his creations, he was there from beginning to end. Icy and Gusty didn't join in because they hadn't finished their desserts yet. So everyone other than Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia participated? Yes. Actually, I hadn't finished my dessert yet either. I just wanted to try some of Jeffy's handmade pastries and Katie's fresh brewed tea. So after I'd eaten my fill, I returned before everyone else. During the contest, did you enter any of the other contestants' rooms?
Huh? What are you saying?
We found your fingerprints on the desserts at the crime scene.
You found them.
Are you admitting that you went to the scene of the murder?
I admit it, but I'm not the murderer. It's the honest truth. Please hear me out.
What were you doing in Mr. Master's room?
The truth is, I was studying his desserts.
Studying.
Because Jeffy's so talented at making sweets. Well, nobody was in his room at the time, so I just decided to study his works for a bit.
But if you were just looking, you wouldn't have left your fingerprints behind.
Yesy, it's natural that I left fingerprints on the desserts. For the sake of research, I ate some of his desserts. Ugh! Isn't that like stealing food?
It couldn't be. The one who wrecked Mr. Master's room was...
I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention to vandalize the room, but I did eat a few parts of desserts in his room. I secretly ate little bits and pieces so Jeffy wouldn't find out.
So, did you eat the ship stand as well?
Yesy, I did.
The chocolate ship broke because of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, the reason she left the afternoon tea early was to preserve her appetite.
But you've got to believe me on this. I'm not the murderer.
Her actions are sufficiently suspicious, but I won't press on it yet. Is the temperature up? There's a cover on the wall, just like in Mr. Master's room. Let's open it up. The room temperature is 68 degrees Fahrenheit and the lights are set to green. Gustavia said that 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the ideal temperature for fresh cream. This room's temperature is too high. Okay, there we go. This is intriguing. Alright, let's use some logic. Connect the dots. High room temperatures, fried desserts. Oh my god. The reason the fresh cream is so fragile is due to the temperature in this room. So my shoes got creamed because the room temperature is set at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Speaking of which, when you open the castle door, the doorknob didn't break. Yeah, it was stronger than I thought. Strong? A dessert? Detective Bad. Could you have a closer look at that doorknob? It would seem that this doorknob isn't a dessert. And it's not just the doorknob. This castle and the fairies are just plastic models coated in fresh cream.
Then this isn't a dessert piece at all.
It would seem they're just fake desserts covered in fresh cream. Oh, I swear I examined these earlier. Two big rocks are placed here. It's like a storage room.
Yeah, the inside of Candy Castle isn't so dreamy. Hey, even they're raw gemstones?
Who knew there were such treasures hidden within the castle? Seems like a rather careless way to handle treasure. Went to Edgeworth there. Looks like there's something underneath the rocks. Seems there's a pedestal attached to both of the rocks. Oh, finally! Good lord, that took so long. Of course, it's a pedestal for displaying the gems. Well, in any case, there's no ordinary object. There we go, finally. Okay, oh my god, wow, this menu is not very... There we go. The rock's pedestal is a similar shape to the recesses on the castle's pillars. Perhaps the rock is meant to be placed on top of the pillars?
Oh, that's right. They're both hexagonal.
Wonder why they were hidden inside the castle, though. The blue cloth and the rocks inside the castle. I wonder if they belong to Delicia. Delicia, those things in the castle, what are they used for?
Those? I'm afraid I can't tell you.
Looks like Von Karma is keeping her silent.
I've been found out. He'll get mad at me if I talk.
Prosecutor Von Karma doesn't intend on being upfront with his information.
Aw, it's just a shame. We finally figured out where the rocks are supposed to go. Could it be that you're interested in my goods?
Eh? Your goods?
Those are my popular relaxation goods.
You mean the rocks and the cloth?
Yes, see, that's right. You see, they're not actually rocks, but special lamps made from rock salt. Wow, so those are lamps! Gets even more exciting, because this cloth also has an amazing secret.
As soon as we showed interest in her goods, she became quite talkative.
Since we got them out, come experience the therapy, boys. Batty, could you put everything up?
It's not baddie, it's bad.
So you won't do it? Is Batty being a bad boy?
Labby, you done photographing this room yet? Yes, sir, I am. Go help Delicia. Yes, sir, I'm on it.
Thanks, I knew you were a good boy underneath, Batty. It's delicious. That was amazing. You even persuaded Detective Bad. Thanks a lot, Batty, and you too, Forensies.
She even gave the forensic a nickname. I think that's her way of showing she cares. What's so therapeutic about these things anyways?
We don't have time for that now, Batty. The show's about to begin. Forensies, finishing touches, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, it's so beautiful.
It really is. Wish my son could see this.
Oi, I told you so, right? The 4 fairies in the Curious Candy Castle was the theme of my work. It's so sparkly and cute, right?
Seems like one of them is missing something.
The truth is, I had planned to unveil it during the contest. Well, I'm glad I got to show it to you boys.
Huh? But it doesn't look like the rock salt lamps are lighting up.
Huh? I wonder why.
I think I'll need to examine the rocks and the fairies again. Oh! Really? Really? Really?
Eureka!
Detective Bad, please read the contest leaflet. Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Huh. These rock salt lamps of the fluorescent cloths go against the rules.
So maybe that's why they were hidden in the castle?
I wonder about that. I think we should investigate further into Delicia's actions. Am I not gonna mention the blood? The castle doors is adorned with a beautiful cloth. I think this was the cloth that was in the castle. Entryways are always beautiful. That's what a detective thinks. Yes, how Detective Bad's shoes have been trampled all over it. But this is no time for snide remarks. Am I seriously not gonna look at the blood? Looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken. But their light bulbs are broken.
Maybe they're dropped on the floor. There's some sort of red stain on this lamp's surface.
This stain, could it be? That smell, there's no mistaking it. It's a blood stain. Huh, alright.
That's a blood stain?
Why is there a blood stain on this lamp? I wonder if this has something to do with the case. With it being broken, I mean. I should also take a look at the other lamp here. Oh, is it gonna actually be working? And that's the twist. So this is where Delicia originally intended to put the lamps. I don't get why she put them in the castle.
Since they're broken and don't light up, maybe she decided to put them out of the way?
If you want them out of the way, there are many other places to store them.
Like that old saying, hide the salt in the sugar bag.
I think the saying goes, hide a tree in the forest. You told me to look at it, and it did nothing. Yep. There's evidence that the victim was beaten to death with a blunt object. What's more, there's a bloodstain on one of the broken rock salt lamps. Could this lamp have been the murder weapon?
You're right. It could have been used as a weapon.
Labby, is the blood analysis on this rock salt lamp finished? Yes, sir! It finished just a few moments ago. The bloodstain on that lamp belonged to the victim. You heard what he said. Okay. The murder weapon was hidden in Delicia's room. We need to consider her as one of the suspects as well. Unlike the other fairies, this one doesn't have a fluorescent cloth.
Miss Delicious, it's not right to leave one out. I don't like it either, but one fluorescent cloth and a machine has gone missing.
You've lost a cloth and a machine. What sort of machine is it?
Why, let me tell you. Each piece of fluorescent cloth is hooked up to one of these machines. The machine is called a rainbow light device. Light is sent through the cable and into the cloth, which is made of optic fibers. Just fiddle around with the settings a bit, and it will turn into all sorts of colors. When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. When it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice. It's powered by a long-lasting battery that's resistant to changes in the temperature.
I'm not very familiar with these kinds of devices.
Mr. Edgeworth, she's saying it's a machine that transmits light to the special cloth.
I see. It's amazing what they come up with these days. So one rainbow light device and one fluorescent cloth are missing.
Yes, see, that's right. Wherever could they be?
This fluorescent cloth, could it be related to the case? Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. Using decorations that were against the rules and making fake desserts. A lot of Delicia's actions seem suspicious. Yeah, it doesn't seem like she's aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef.
Also, the temperature of this room is way too high. Is there a reason for that?
I wonder. I think we should ask Delicia directly. Delicia, why is the room temperature set to 68 degrees Fahrenheit?
The cold doesn't agree with me. Plus, it's bad for the body. This figure doesn't maintain itself, you know. Naturally, as a lady, I want to look young forever.
I wonder how old Miss Delicious really is. Raymond, a true gentleman, never asks a woman her age. This room is mainly filled with cream, and 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the recommended temperature for preserving fresh cream.
What? Really? Now it's all gone to waste. Looks like Miss Delicious didn't know.
I thought she was supposed to be a first-class pastry chef. The fake desserts and the rule violations, and now, her lack of basic knowledge. Looks like she keeps many secrets. I think now we can be like, you're not a chef at all. That's not true. This isn't true at all. Delicia's knowledge in the art of dessert making is lacking in fundamental areas, and she claims she went into Mr. Master's room in order to study his desserts. These actions and ideas are not fitting of someone aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef. Yeah, they don't sound like the words of a pro. Like she doesn't even realize it, or maybe she isn't a real pastry chef. Perhaps she had some other intention. It's possible that she didn't go into the room to study desserts.
So then, are you saying Miss Delicious is the criminal?
We can't say that for sure yet, but I know she's hiding something from us. Investigation complete. That's enough investigating. We found much more than I expected. And yet, something from before still bothers me. Prosecutor Von Karma must have found the murder weapon in this room. So then, why did he let Delicia be? Firstly, I must ascertain Von Karma's true motives. Detective Bad, I'd like to ask Prosecutor Von Karma something. I've also got business with him. And Delicia there too.
What's the idea, Baddie? Don't glare at me like that.
Seems Detective Bad also has his doubts about Delicia and Von Karma. Delicia, would you come with us for a moment?
Yesy, that's fine. What for?
We have to find Von Karma. There are some things we need to talk about. Are you seriously calling me? Prosecutor Von Karma, we need to talk about the case. Tisk, tisk, tisk. From the look on your face, I assume you found the murder weapon. Yes. We discovered the murder weapon in Delicia's room. It would seem Mr. Master isn't the only suspect in this case. Bah, that's not true. Well, the murder weapon was found does not change the fact that Master is the culprit. As long as I am here. Why is Von Karma so sure of himself? Well then, aren't you going to explain why the murder weapon was in Delicia's room? Huh. Naturally, if you wish to know, I'll tell you. Oh, this is so cool! In order to pin the crime on Delicia, Master used the rock salt lamp to kill the victim. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room. If he had left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have been the one suspected. He couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene. Ugh! Mr. Master took the rock salt lamp. Precisely. I carried out the investigation myself. There could be no room for doubt. Do you have evidence that he moved it? Huh. That will not be necessary. Wha? Tisk, tisk, tisk. If you have an objection, say it. Do you think a mere defense attorney can break my logic? I do. And I will find it. Objection. Oh, there we go. Because I was found with the body, right? It's true that the murder weapon and bloodstains disappeared from the vicinity. However, there was still one piece of incriminating evidence left behind. Have a look at this photograph, which was taken when the body was first discovered. Yep, the blue cloth. This cloth was used to wrap the body. Doesn't it remind you of the fluorescent cloth from Delicia's room?
Hey, my fluorescent cloth was at the crime scene?
Ha! Fluorescent cloth? You, just what part of this cloth is fluorescent?
I guess Von Karma doesn't know about this cloth's secret.
Looks like a normal cloth at first glance, but if you use this rainbow light device, you can make it glow.
Ugh. Prosecutor Von Karma seems a little surprised.
I don't think it was the cloth's ability to glow that surprised him. One sheet of this fluorescent cloth is currently unaccounted for. Now, I'd like you to look at the color of this cloth in the photo. Don't you think it looks like the color of the fluorescent cloth before it's been lit up? Huh. Both the rock salt lamp and the fluorescent cloth originally belonged to Delicia. Wouldn't it be natural to assume that this cloth was used to wrap the body? Prosecutor Von Karma. I believe the present conditions give us much reason to suspect Delicia.
Hold it, Greggy. You really suspect me?
I don't yet know if you're the culprit, but it is true that you're hiding something. Am I right?
That's...
So, you're saying that the murder weapon and the cloth were originally from Delicia's room? Yes. Tisk, tisk, tisk. What's so funny? Just as I expected from you. The murder weapon and the cloth are not from her room. How unfortunate for you. What does he mean? Before the contest began, Master noticed a violation of the rules. He confiscated the cloth and the rock salt lamp and kept them in his room for safekeeping. What? The victim was not seen, as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked rooms was Jeff Master, and the murder weapon, the rock salt lamp, was being kept in Master's room. This should be the decisive evidence in proving Master's guilt. Defense attorney? You've lost me before you even had a chance to stand in court. What's this?
What? Was all our investigating for nothing? Miss Delicious, why didn't you tell us about your confiscated items? Oh, well, Manny said it looked suspicious if I did. Prosecutor Von Karma. It's true, you all suspect me, don't you?
How clumsy of you, defense attorney. Von Karma. So that's why you let us investigate Delicia's room. In your clumsiness, there's one more thing I need to inform you of. 2 sets of fingerprints were found on the murder weapon. 2. Yes. They belong to Jeff Master and Delicious Scones. Oh, delicious cones? I get it. No other fingerprints were found. After Master killed Devo with the confiscated rock salt lamp, he foolishly concealed the murder weapon, bearing his own fingerprint in its owner's room. I don't even need to prove my case in court. I have more than enough perfect evidence to prove Master's guilt. Hold it. I still have some doubts about the fluorescent cloth found in Mr. Master's room. Bah, irrelevant. After disposing of the body, he intended to return it to Delicia's room. Ugh. I don't have enough information to refute Von Karma's reasoning. Nothing left to say. If your job is done, leave this place.
That's...
I can't give up yet. Huh, we've wasted enough time as it is. Bad, take them away. There's still some doubts left in our investigation. Detective Bad. What's the meaning of this? It's not my nature to leave any doubts behind. There is still one piece of evidence that is yet to be identified. That's right. There's still the traces someone left behind. Bah! Talk about your doubts as much as you want later. But this, my dear attorney, is none of your business. No, I also have some doubts about one piece of evidence. It's likely that I have the same doubts Detective Bad has. What? This is the piece of evidence left in Mr. Master's room that has yet to be identified. This? Somebody left glove finger marks on one of Mr. Master's desserts. If these were the killer's finger marks, then it's possible that the killer also didn't leave fingerprints on the murder weapon. Ugh! How did you know the state of the crime scene? I gave them permission to investigate. Bad! What possessed you to let a defense attorney into the crime scene? I don't recall you telling me not to let them in. Ugh, such impudence! You best remember, Bad. Your salary review depends on me.
This isn't good for Bad. I'm so glad I have a kind boss like Mr. Edgeworth.
Salary review depends on how you perform here. Huh, I'm surprised at what a mere attorney like you managed to uncover in such a short time. However, it's possible those finger marks were Master's own doing, because he always wore gloves while cooking. You have evidence that those finger marks were left by Master, and moreover, there are still a few points of suspicion surrounding Delicia. Oh? You still haven't given up on that.
Aw, Greggy, you still suspect me? I've already apologized for stealing a few bites.
I don't want to suspect you. However, I can't easily trust those who tell lies. You must still be hiding something.
Aw, Greggy is a bully.
Don't you know the temperature of fresh cream must be kept at? You call yourself a dessert chef, but you lack even the most basic knowledge.
I'm sorry for my lack of knowledge.
In your case, it's not even about lack of knowledge. In truth, you don't even know how to make desserts, do you? Defense attorney! Stop trying to force your own reasoning! In a court of law, the evidence tells all. If you say the witness is lying, show it with evidence. We're not in court yet, but very well. This evidence shows that Delicia can't make desserts. Where would I put it? Oh, fake desserts. There we go. The one things Delicia made were those that broke the rule. The lamp and cloth that broke the rules were being held in Master's room. There's no way the witness could have returned them to her room. Those were not the only fake desserts she made. What? Her desserts may look like something out of a fairy tale at first glance, but in reality, they are nothing but mannequins decorated with cream. Apart from the cream, they're all fake. Ugh. This is not something one aiming to become the world's greatest pastry chef would do. Is this true, Bad? Yes. My shoes can attest to that.
Will that be enough to convince Prosecutor Von Karma?
Once he sees what Delicia has done, he'll have no choice but to be convinced. Delicia, the fact that your actions could lead to you being a suspect is no laughing matter.
That's... I didn't murder.
Isn't it time you told us the whole truth? Who are you, and why were you indulging yourself in another contestant's work?
Yessie, I understand.
Oh, just a real confession.
The truth is, I'm not really a dessert chef like I led you to believe. I'm actually a pharmacist. What? A pharmacist?
That's a completely different occupation. It's no wonder he couldn't hide his surprise. Why is a pharmacist like you participating in this contest?
I just love eating desserts. I joined because I thought I'd be able to eat some of Jeffy's desserts. I never thought I'd end up making it to the finals.
Even Prosecutor Von Karma is at a loss for words.
So that's the real reason why you entered the contest?
Yes, see, as expected, Jeffy's desserts were oh so good.
So, the gloved finger marks on the picture frame were your doing?
No way! I never wore gloves!
Delicious fingerprints were found on Mr. Master's chocolates. So it's true that she wasn't wearing gloves.
Yes, see, exactly. You do believe me, Greggy.
Is your face stuffed with nothing but desserts?
Sorry, Manny.
I think it's your belly that's stuffed. Were Master's desserts all that you ate?
Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts.
You mean you entered the victim's room?
Yes, see, exactly. The room was empty after all.
Perhaps the victim was already dead by then.
My first bite tasted way too salty and I couldn't eat it. So I ate the delicious star-shaped dessert that was nearby.
It's delicious. You really are a glutton. It is rare to see one with this kind of appetite.
That's all I did. Greggy, Manny, everyone, I'm sorry I caused you trouble.
Now that you told us the truth, everything's fine. There's no need to apologize. This doesn't mean that your testimony is trustworthy. I'll be investigating the victim's room after this. Only then will I decide if your testimony is true. Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like to go as well. I also need to ascertain whether my reasoning up until now has been correct. Huh. I'll let you follow, but I have no intention of letting you investigate. That's enough for me. And is it gonna... Oh, no, sweet. Yes, I didn't want it to end. I was like, no. I want to keep playing this. What is the meaning of this? What? The desserts adorning the victim's room had disappeared without a trace. Was this a true killer's doing? A body that was hidden inside a dessert, and a murder weapon that was moved. Further investigation would be required to arrive at the truth of this case. Oh no, they are gonna end it here, aren't they? You piece of crap! Ah! I want to keep playing. I'm not going to because I can't, but I'm gonna end today's episode here for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So, guys, see more awesome game. Oh, we're going back to the future for a bit. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all later. Peace out.